Good day once again. Welcome to another session of our channel. Today we'll be discussing calculus. Now, most people find calculus very difficult because they don't understand what calculus simply means. Calculus simply means the relationship between one term and another, or one person and another, or one particular action with respect to the second. Has to do with the changes of one particular principle, one particular property with respect to another. So most times we see it as dy dx, because calculating the action of y with respect to the action of x, that is why we see it as dy dx. Now there are two forms of calculus. You are either calculating or solving from beginning to end, or from end back to beginning. And if you are solving from beginning to end, we call it differentiation. If you are solving from the end back to the beginning, call it integration. So most people say integration is difficult. Integration is difficult. It's not difficult. If you are able to differentiate a principle from beginning to end, if you integrate that particular end, you must surely come back to the beginning. So most times they use calculus in different applications when they are trying to check the relationship between one particular principle, one particular property against a reference property or against another. So now, how do we differentiate? Now, in differentiation, they give you a principle, or they give you a question that starts with y. Let's say y equals to ax raised to the power n, and you differentiate to get the y dx as your final answer. That is for differentiation. This is differentiation. Now, for integration, they are giving you in dy dx and asking you to go back to y. That is integration. So you see how it is. Differentiation is from beginning to end, and integration is from end to beginning. So if you see a question and they say dy dx is equal to this, find y, automatically they're asking you to integrate, because dy dx is the final answer. That's the first differentiation, first differential is the final answer. Then they're asking you to go back to y. But if you give me y equal to this and say find the y dx, they automatically are telling you to differentiate. So you should be able to understand whether you should differentiate and integrate if they don't mention it in a particular question, a particular term. But you should be able to know that when you see y and you're going to dy dx, you're actually differentiating. And when you see dy dx and you're going to y, you're actually integrating. That is that. So how do we differentiate? Now it's very simple. If you have a term y equals to ax raised to the power n, where a is the number, x is the term, and n is the power. So for instance, you have y is equal to 2x raised to the power 5. So our a becomes what? 2. Our x becomes what? X. And our n becomes what? 5. It may not be x here. It may be 2a raised to the power 5. Whatever is there should be what is under. So if we were to consider this one, we'll say the outside, what is outside? Y, over what is inside? X dx. What is outside here? Y. What is inside there? A. So you see it, the what is outside over the what is inside. Now what they said will do, which is the rule, is that the number outside, you leave it as the number. You don't touch the number outside. You don't touch the number outside. So whatever number is here, you leave it down here. So since we have a here, we leave our a here. Then the same thing, since we have 2 here, we leave our 2 here. The next is what? X raised to the power n. What differentiation says is that you use this n to, you take this n back to this point of a, then you subtract 1 from the n. You take this n back to this point of a, you subtract 1 to the n. So what it means is, we take this n to where we have a, it becomes n x, you subtract 1 from the n. That is that. We've differentiated already. The same thing, you take this a 5 to this point where we have 2, becomes what? 5. Then a, we subtract 1 from that. That is that. So automatically a times n gives us what? A n x is to the power what? N minus 1. Easy. So dy dA is equal to what? What is 2 times 5? 10. A, what's 5 minus 1? 4. That is that. As simple as that. So I've used one stone to kill 2 birds. I've given you the formula and I've already solved an example. So for instance, we're asked to do y is equal to 3q7. 3q7 now. Now they say find the y dx, which is the question, find the y dx. What you do is the y, which is the outside, find the y the q, sorry. What we do is the outside over the what is inside, q, over the inside is equal to what? This is our number 3. Leave it there, bracket. What is up here? 7. Remember what is up here, we'll take it down. So we'll take this 7 down. It becomes what? 7q. Then what do we do again? Subtract 1 from the 7 up. So it becomes what? 7 minus 1, which is equal to what? 3 times 7 is what? 21q. What is 7 minus 1? 6. Which is our answer. So you can try other examples. You can try examples. I have a video where I solved examples on calculus. So you just check it out for examples on calculus, and you see how we solve different examples on calculus. It's very easy. The same step I just applied that we're going to use. Only that most times they give it to you in addition of two terms, in subtraction of two terms, multiplication and division. That is where you now apply what's where the formula, that's where the question now becomes very long. Now it is not long, it's very short. But when you now have addition of two terms, for instance, we have this plus this, now you have to solve this and solve that in a particular question, then it becomes long, and you say, oh, it's very, very long. But no, this is just the basic. Once you're able to get this thing, you can try it for more examples. You can just check out for more examples. You can even use your brain to generate examples and try it and see if you get the answer. If you have any question, you can easily ask me on WhatsApp or on Facebook learning area. On WhatsApp, the link to my WhatsApp group, WhatsApp is at the comment section. It's at the description. It's at the comment section rather. So you can easily do. You also follow our Facebook page. It's at the comment section, also the link to the Facebook page. So when we post examples and when we post questions, you'll be able to follow it, you'll be able to understand. So the we're going into addition and subtraction of calculus.